Asher and Penland on W4CY Radio.
This is the Pipe Man here on the Adventures of Pipe Man, W4CY Radio, and I'm very excited about our next guest because we have some killer music to talk about. So let's welcome to the show Dave from King Ultramega. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Let me tell you, I'm just going to start off right now, and you probably would say the same thing. I know you would say the same thing. I have never met anybody in my whole, not only career, but passion for music that has said a bad word about Chris Cornell. It's pretty rare.
Yeah,
it's pretty rare that nobody says anything. Everybody looks at him as like one of the greatest voices to rock ever.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've talked to him a few times going way back, and just always such a sweet guy, and just a great guy, and one of the most talented people you're ever gonna listen to, for sure.
Absolutely. And it is a testament when you have a band like King Ultramega that is paying tribute to somebody like that, because it says a lot, and you guys just unveiled the cover of Loud Love, and man, it's pretty badass, I gotta say.
Right on. Thanks. Yeah, I was really excited to be a part of it, for sure. You know what I mean? And then now hearing how it came out, I'm pretty pumped about it. Getting to pay honor to Chris and the band.
And yet, even all these years later, it's like he's still with us here, and so how did this all come about that you guys decided to do this and pick this particular Soundgarden cover?
Well, Mark reached out a while ago, and he told me what he had planned, and I thought it was a great idea. It's and the people involved, it was like, wow, that sounds like a really great idea, and then he threw this song out, and I was like, oh shit, that's a tough one. That one, but I love the song so much. It's been one of my favorite songs, since I heard it. So it was a little daunting at first, just to try and take it on, but then after, just kind of settle in and just have fun with it and everything. And it was great to sit with the headphones on and play along like that. I mean, I'd probably done it at some point, but it'd been decades, so to revisit it in that way, it's amazing. And a whole new appreciation for the just insane talent that band has.
Now, you've talked to him a few times when he was, with us. Mm-hmm. What do you think he would have thought of this version of the song?
I think he'd have loved it. What she does with the vocals is just, face meltingly amazing. It's, man, she's good. So I think he'd have really dug it, really. And he's just such a nice guy. Like, I met them when they were doing Temple of the Dog. We were working in the studio also, so I was just geeking out, like, oh my god, such a big fan. Him and Matt came in, and then they played a little club show, and then I didn't see anybody. I was kind of out of town, and I came back. I went to a Pearl Jam show, and I think it was '93, and I'll never forget, he came up and he was like, "Hey Dave, remember me?" I was like, what? He was just like funny like that, like just such a gracious guy, and just so down to earth, you know what I mean? So unaffected.
I love hearing that.
So unaffected by and just such a cool dude. I think he'd have dug it though, really.
Well, and Lzzy, you're right. There's one thing to listen to her on an album, but I remember the first time I saw her live, and I was like, oh my God, her voice is like 10 million times better than the album, which that's not always the case.
Yeah, we played a couple festivals with them. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's kind of a blur. I was touring with Candlebox for a long time. I want to say like 10 years ago, 9 years ago, somewhere in there. We do festivals, you know, here and there. And I know we played with them somewhere because I remember when it came up and he was telling me, I was like, oh yeah, I know her. You know, I've heard her live. It's like, yeah, she's extreme talent right there for sure.
You know, it's funny too. I do find that of the people that do pay homage to Chris Cornell, the best singers to do it have been the females.
Yeah, I mean, who can hit those notes like that for sure? Yeah, I mean, I don't know a lot of guys that could take that on and really pull it off. Maybe if you like just kind of approached it completely differently, but yeah, you're not gonna get the same, you know, intensity. Yeah, and she's like, there's so much power in her voice. You know what I mean? It's not just a high voice. She belts it out. She's got a ton
And
of
she's
power.
got range.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's not just a high voice, you know, hitting those notes. It's yeah, I was super impressed, and my phone's been blowing up, you know, people, oh my God, you know, it's really cool. I'd love
nice.
to play live with this band at some point, you know.
Oh, it'd be cool if you guys like hit the festival circuit, like do
Yeah.
all the Danny Wimmer festivals.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You know, because what's funny is it could definitely happen because, like, you know, hailstorms at them all the time and stuff like that. So it could be kind of like a cool thing where, you know, everybody's already there, and now
Right.
you could do a set like that. You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely. I know.
and
I agree. Yeah.
I remember I was at, you know, I was at because I cover all the U.S. festivals, UK, Europe, and I was at the festival like the week before that happened with Chris, and Soundgarden was playing,
Yeah.
and then the next week I was at another Wimmer festival, and we got the news, and it was like it was such a shock, such
Yeah.
a shock. But then at like the funeral, and even just after the funeral, like the love that people had for that man, like
For sure.
it's unbelievable,
Yeah.
right? You know, and that's more than just being a great artist. That says what kind of human being he was.
Absolutely. Yes, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
What's
Okay.
your favorite memory of ever, you know, playing with them, being with them, besides the one you just told, which is pretty funny, you know, like, hey, do you remember me? That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You know, it's in my top 10 regrets easily. When we played at the Rock Candy, it was a brand new club, and it was Ann and Nancy Wilson and us. Pearl Jam played, and Matt wasn't there, but Chris was there, and he wanted to do a Temple of the Dog song. And I was like, oh my God, I can't play that stuff. I mean, you know, I kind of felt like at the time, like, oh, I'm showing how much my attitude has just got to express the deep respect I have for Matt Cameron. And I was super nervous too. I mean, you know, I was so green back then. If I would never turn that opportunity, you know, but I just think, man, that was my one chance to go play a song with Chris, and I didn't do that. And yeah, to this day.
Wow.
But then sitting down with him like in a pizza parlor in LA, I mean, this is a while ago now. This is probably 2010, something like that. And just, you know, with some other dudes talking about not music at all, just others, you know, just life, hanging out. And
Right.
that was great. sharing a slice, just chilling.
Well, and see, that is the cool thing. That's why I like you expressing that, because like when you're living your life, like even though music's a huge passion, that's not all you talk about. It's just like I do in interviews, I like to find out what else the artists are passionate about. But it is cool, those experiences. It's like I remember one time I was interviewing Ray Mayorga, and then I sat down on the curb and I was smoking a cigarette, and Corey Taylor just walks and sits down and starts talking to me about the weather. And and I never fanboy out. That I fanboyed out on in my head. I'm like, oh my God, I'm talking to Corey Taylor about the weather. Like it's about nothing.
Right.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
And that's what I like listeners to hear, that, artists are just normal human beings that just happen to play music.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. I know. Sometimes I've met people and I kind of forget that. And then, it's nice to have a conversation about just kind of whatever and going with the flow and what's up and just hanging out, yeah. Then you really appreciate it later. Like you're saying, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, that's so cool to just, talk about our dogs. We're just talking about
I know, right?
dogs,
Exactly.
I love my dog and they love their dog and we're just talking about dogs.
It's kind of funny too, because friends of mine will be like, hey, can you get me backstage? I'm like, really? Listen, there's nothing really going on there. Like, I'm sitting with one of the band members and we're sharing pictures of our grandkids. It's
Exactly.
not the 80s and 90s, but I think people need to see that other side, because I think maybe they would understand and be more chill when it comes to artists too, to realize that, hey, they're just human beings just like you that happen to play music, and have a passion for it. That's all.
Sure. Yeah.
So what's your favorite part of your involvement in King Ultramega?
Well, I mean, I gotta say, hearing the final results and being just floored by the band's talent for sure, getting to play with all of them, and the fact that it's honoring Chris and the band. You know what I mean? It's just
totally.
Like, this is something I got asked to. There's a book, Photo Phantasm, I think I'm getting that right. It's a big coffee table book, a fan-based book about Soundgarden. And now I'm blanking on the woman's name. I feel bad about it, but I was asked to they knew I was a huge Soundgarden fan, and would I, just kind of write a little snippet about that, and it's in the book. And so that was a huge honor. And then getting to do this, I mean, icing on the cake in a big way, just being able to honor him and the guys, what I mean? Because Chris really, back in that day, growing up, obviously Hendrix was from here and Hart was such a huge, massive presence. But when Soundgarden was happening, Mother Love Bone, just to name those two, but he's somebody that represents the entire Northwest. And I was so proud to be from here and have somebody like that out there fronting such an amazing band. I mean, seriously, that's a lot to put on his shoulders. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And he really did it. You know what I mean? Like he represented and brought the love and the power of this area. And yeah, he made us all proud. I'll say that.
See, I love hearing stuff like that. Like, to have that kind of respect and admiration, that's just cool as can be. And I hear that from everybody that ever talks about him. And that's why I started the interview that way. It's like, it's just unbelievable how somebody could have that kind of impact on so many people for being a human being, not just an artist.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to share with the listeners we haven't covered yet that you would want them to know?
Well, there's more songs coming out. The lineup of talent that Mark put together, it's pretty mind blowing. You know what I mean? Matt is on there. Kim is on there. I can't wait to hear the rest of the stuff. Honestly, like I'm so floored so far. My phone has been exploding.
Nice.
And, all my friends are really excited for me that I got to be a part of it, and it's all about a good cause too. So
totally. And it must be exciting too as an artist when you're playing with people you don't normally play with, because it's like new again, and
yeah.
there's that excitement of doing something different with different people.
Yeah, exactly. And you never know. And then getting to like work out, how's this going to go? And we're all putting our parts down, and yeah. And then Mark, and I can't remember the name of the mixer. I'm blanking right now, but they put a lot of effort into it. And I mean, we all did, but it's really, I've talked to Mark a little bit since it came out. I know we're doing press, and it just came out a couple of days ago. So
yeah,
a lot happening right now, but yeah, I think he should feel very proud of himself for having the idea in the first place, and then how he's kind of bringing it all to fruition. And it's like, it's a big undertaking, I could imagine.
Totally.
You know what I mean? I was just doing my small part here, but kudos to him for making it happen.
There's probably a lot of too, like, there's a lot of stress of something to live up to. Like if you're going to do that, like on his part,
oh my God, yeah, exactly. It's one thing to have an idea. Yeah, that'd be cool. But it's like, wow, I'm so impressed by that guy. Seriously. Like what
nice.
And what he pulled it off. So far, so good. It's only, it's only going to get better to hear more stuff. So,
and MusiCares is such a great organization. Like,
oh my God,
nothing could be needed more. I don't think people realize, like, they look at all musicians and they're like, oh, they're living the dream life. And maybe partially, yes, but then they don't see the other parts too, and that's the point. Like, again, you're all just human beings and you have the same struggles we all do.
Well, and MusiCares, I'm somebody who personally benefited from MusiCares a few times, a couple of surgeries. They sent me to rehab. Many of my friends, they've helped out, with the doctor bill here, or going to the dentist there. They set up clinics all over, dentist clinics.
Nice.
My ex-wife worked there for a long time, and it's like, she helped out. Oh, not everyone I know, but almost every musician friend that I have. You know what I mean? It's like, it's an amazing organization for sure.
And I love that somebody thought about it, because, a lot of people think, oh, musicians, they're making a ton of money. Yeah, not necessarily. And there's things that they need that they can't afford to do.
Exactly. And, it also has a lot to do with mental health, obviously. And there's a lot more, it's a lot more out and about these days, ever since COVID, I feel like, but which is good, and more awareness, the better, because so many people struggle with it. And, it's more accepted now if you're going through something, to not, you don't have to like feel like you're going to be shunned for saying, hey, I'm going through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I need some help. And, there's a lot more help than there was in regards to that. So, and they're huge. MusiCares is a huge, proponent of like staying on top of that and how you doing. And so, yeah, like you're saying, it sometimes it doesn't even have anything to do with money, whether it's like someone is doing well or not. It's just that they're so good at reaching people in the music industry on, you know, any different level to provide a lot of assistance. You know, it's a wonderful thing. It's the best thing Grant has ever did.
Yeah, I love it because like I have a lot of friends that are musicians, and you know, there's a lot of struggles musicians have to go through all the time. And a lot of reasons, that's the reason they are a musician, because that's their outlet to get it out, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, to me, music's some of the best therapy, but yeah, there's other things you need too. And that's where I love what an organization like MusiCares does, because they do care.
Absolutely. That's a fact. I've seen it firsthand.
There it is. Well, I love the Soundgarden cover. I that's already out, Loud Love, and I can't wait for more. And thanks for doing this, you know, number one, and thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipe Man.
Thanks for having me, man. This was fun chatting.
My pleasure. And that's always good to hear.
Dave Krusen here, King Ultramega. You listen to the Pipe Man, W4CY Radio. And thank God you're doing this. Keep doing it. Thank you, Pipe Man.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipe Man on W4CY Radio.